Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about trying to make the house more energy efficient. And you could throw more solar panels on and whatnot, but my goal is to use less electricity altogether. So I went out and I purchased a used clothes dryer off of Marketplace yesterday. So this is clothes dryer. It is running right now. I'm sure you can hear that on the video here, but I don't have it hooked up to gas, and it runs. So that's good. That's a good first start for me, because my goal, and this will really only help me out, I guess the clothes are dry. That will really only help me out in the winter time. Summertime, we'll still have to use the electric one, because this little doohickey right here, because this right here is a water to air heat exchanger. I haven't used it in quite a few years. It's just been hanging here in the garage, and at one point in time I was going to run some copper tubing down and around and whatnot, but it seems to be able to handle itself in the winter with just the floor heat. I do have a plan. I'd like to put a mini split in here, but that's down the road. So we're going to take that down and we're going to graft that into the dryer on the air intake side, so we can have our heat come from the outdoor wood boiler. The circuit is tied into the return line, so after it's gone through the plate exchanger for the floor heat and then through the side arm for the water heater, as it's going back out, this line will be teed in there, and then with a circulator pump on it, and it should, in theory, in my mind, it should work. This is if I looked it up correctly, this is a 50,000 BTU heat exchanger, and I don't know, I got different numbers when I looked it up online as to what dryers use, but some said 20 to 25,000 BTU, so who knows? We'll find out if it works or not here in a little bit. Alright guys, being as we got everything down here now, I think, for the most part, we got the heat exchanger. I got a pedestal for the dryer from one of the guys I work with, and then a few pieces of ductwork, so we can tie this into the bottom of the dryer, and we'll get started on that. Alright, so we're going to remove the gas portion of the dryer here, so that we can make room for our fitting to go down through. We're going to have to drill a hole in the bottom here, and hopefully that'll work. Alright, we got her set up on the pedestal here. See it coming through there. And then we got to get this piece mounted there. So the heat exchanger's in. I wanted it all the way back here so that when I put the cover back over the base, the fittings will be outside of the from underneath. We had a few inches there to fill in with, cut some ductwork, and we got some room over here that for some airflow. And yeah, we'll put the door on the other side, and I'll have to cut the cover a little bit, put it on the back side here, and we should be done with this part of it, and we can get the lines pulled over here and hook them up. Alright, well, I got the top piece made. Now we got to make the bottom piece. Let's get that made. So this is a piece of 6-inch ductwork that I had cut off when I was doing some ductwork here. And what we need is about 18 inches, so it should work for that. And then need about 8 will work. We can make this work. So let's go out in the garage and we'll clean this up a little bit. Being as this was ductwork, it's got the lip on here. I'm just going to shear that off quick. No. Now I got straight edges. So we can make some marks on it so we know where to cut and bend it some more. Let's see, I need 2 hands. So let's see here. We need to mark this right there and right there. And then we need to mark this right there. This one's just kind of ballparkish. Then we'll go back over here. Oh, too old to be crawling around on the ground. Oh, that there. That should be good there. And then there. we can go back out in the garage and cut this some more. Alright, being as nothing on here is straight, I had to go from here into there, and then from here over to here. But I want to make a little lip on there so I can attach the side pieces to it. So we got to make it a little bit bigger. So we'll get straight edge. Now we'll see if it fits. Oh, that ain't too bad. I think that'll do. Yeah. Just screw it and tape it and call her good. Well, this is all buttoned up here. Got our ductwork all taped and screwed and connected, so I think we're ready to put this bottom cover back on and the drawer face on the front, and then we'll start working on the relay. Alright, we got the burner here. So the burner circuit is 120 volts, which we'll use that for power in the circulator pump. I have a little cord here to run over to the circulator pump, and then I'll just use an extension cord for right now, and then we just gotta take this off and plug that back into the harness here. This is the high limit thermostat, and that's the thermal cutoff, and they're important on the gas, you know, in case something malfunctions. But with the water, I'm thinking we're probably not gonna need them. I mean, nothing's gonna start on fire, you know. There's no electric heating element or the gas burner anymore. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to attach them to the ductwork here, you know, eventually. Okay, we got the wiring done. We got the power cord ran back to where the burner plugs in. Got the two sensors plugged in. They can go off to the side there. We got, I ran a cord or some wire from the circulator pump over to the outlet here. So all we got to do is plug this in, and that'll send power to the circulator pump over here. Alright, we got the temporary wire running here. Goes over to the dryer, comes down to the circulator pump. Just keep in mind this is temporary, and just to do proof of concept. If it works, then I'll clean this all up. But until then, I'm not going to put a bunch of effort into cleaning it up until I know for sure that it's going to work. Well, the next step is to get the water lines that go out of the house here. This is some lines that I had when I had my outdoor boiler in a different spot, so these are not used anymore. Oh, I gotta get that all taken down, and then we run across the ceiling over here to the dryer and hook it up there. All right, well, we got the plumbing in. We got the lines coming down into the heat exchanger. I was short the fitting, so I had to use some of these other crimp ones that I got. And I guess the next thing to do is turn it on, see if it works. Probably take a little bit to get the air purged out of the lines, but time to give her a whirl. All right, here we go. Turn that on. The only red light flashing is the one that says check the lint screen. Running. I heard water start running through the lines. Oh yeah, we got good airflow here. So check that. Blowing good. That was one of my worries. I'll go over and check the circulator pump and see if that's running. Alright, circulator pump is running. I could feel it. I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear that. So that's good. With this thing turned on and with no heat, they say that it's gonna time out in like 7 minutes or whatever. It's been running for a few minutes, but I wanted to make sure you saw that it says good airflow. So I think that's a win so far. All right, quit already. So this thing timed out. When there's no heat, they sense that and they'll turn off. The only thing I'm not sure of is if it's coming off of these or not. I don't think it is, but worst case is I gotta mount it onto the ductwork there. Out to the wood stove. Alright guys, well, fire's going in the wood stove, matter of hours, and then I'll be able to start my test. As we're waiting for the water from the water boiler, outdoor wood boiler, to heat up, that gets up to 160, and from what I've read in the manual on this thing, it's like 120 to 160 is the temperature that it's wanting. So as long as my water coming in is at 160, it should be pretty close. I mean, it's always going to be a little bit less, but we've got really good airflow. I will take the anemometer. All right, guys, we got the anemometer here. I got it set on miles per hour, and we'll turn both dryers on and see what the airflow is on each one. So All right, here we go. So about 16.3 on the electric one. And 23 on the gas one, so we actually got better airflow on the, or more airflow on the wood-fired gas dryer. I'm gonna do a couple loads of laundry. I'll weigh it out so we have the same amount of weight in each one, and then we'll start them both as close to the same time as I can, and then we'll see how much longer the wood-fired boiler dryer takes. All right, our water temp is up to 160, so I think we're gonna start our little test. Alright guys, we got about 9.5 pounds of clothes I'm gonna put in each dryer to start this test out. All right, guys, we're to the point now where the electric dryer has quit. Buzzer went off a few minutes ago. I hit the lap button on the stopwatch, so we're at an hour and 5 minutes total, and about 8 minutes in on the lap. So we'll see how long this goes. The timer was at 21 minutes here a little bit ago, and now it's back up to 28. So I tried to set both of these the same on the same cycle. This one, you know, it's just on a normal cycle, and the other one here, I had it on regular. We usually do over here anyways, so it usually runs quite a bit longer, but I figured for testing it sake we would try to do them both as close to the same that I could figure out, or that I can see. The clothes in here are all dry, not feeling any wet spots, so when this gets done, I'll just make sure the clothes are dry. The biggest thing is how much power is it going to use, because like using this in an off-grid application, or my thing more is if the power is out for a substantial amount of time, we can still get our clothes washed and dry. And I know we can hang them on the clothesline, but one, we don't have a clothesline because my wife doesn't want to use one, and so having a dryer available that isn't going to use a lot of power is kind of a important thing. So the only real big difference will be in the amount of wood that I use, and I don't know that I will even notice that. Right now, the only reason I have the wood stove running is because of doing this test. And well, it's supposed to get cold, start getting cold. We got 80 degrees today, and it's going to be highs of like 50s going forward next week. So figured I needed a little heat, but I don't have anything else turned on. But we'll let this count down here, and then we'll check these clothes, make sure they're dry, and go over the numbers for how much power we used. Well, there we go. She just finished. We'll stop this. We're at an hour 32 minutes, about 35 minutes longer than the electric dryer. Take and flip this. Oh yeah, everything's good and dry. Good and dry. That's a little bit damp right there, but just barely. That's the inside of a pocket on jeans. So I'd say overall it worked really well. We'll look at the kilowatt meter here. See that? 0.62 kilowatt hours. We'll take a look at what the electric dryer did here. I just got to pull it up quick. Okay, so I got the graph pulled up on my Emporia view here. Just so you know, I had to restart the test, do it over again, because the electric dryer was about done, and I was checking the clothes in the wood dryer, and when I went to restart it, I hit the power off button. It had like 22 minutes left on it, and so I threw all the clothes back in the washer on the rinse cycle and spun them out, and then did the test again, which sucked. But with that said, that's why you see two tall bars on the graph here, and it says 6.4 kilowatt hours. Basically, divide that in half, because I did let the electric dryer run all the way through its full cycle. So divide that in half, that's 3.2 kilowatt hours versus 0.62, which gets you really close to like 2,500 watts difference, which if the power's out, 2,500 watts is a lot. I mean, that's a lot of juice in my batteries. I have 4 batteries that are 5.1 kilowatts each. So, I mean, that's half a battery difference. So, I think that's kind of huge. Going forward, my plan is to use this in the winter, and we'll use the electric one during the summer when I don't have the wood stove going. And then being as this uses 6.2 kilowatts, my plan is I want to try to run this off of the batteries if I can. If not, it's not a big deal. So yeah, that is pretty awesome. I'm glad this worked out. Now I got some cleanup to do with my power wire. I had to dig the insulation out where the vent goes out there. That's why I'm coughing a little bit, because I've done too much insulating and I mess with it, and it just, my lungs are messed up from it, I think. So we're oh, darn bugs. I had the window open, I had the vent going out there while I was running both, and all these Asian beetles got in here. They're just nasty. If you're at this point and you watched the whole video and this is something that you've been thinking about doing and maybe motivates you to be able to do it, that's what this video is for. That's why I do this stuff, is to help give other people ideas on the projects that they want to do. So I guess that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one.